Alright everybody, I want to take this time to just talk about the advertising potential. Now a lot of people have asked me different things, so I thought this is the best way to get it out there and kind of explain as briefly as I can in a short amount of time as I can where the advertising in the pole race really ties in and how it all goes together with what I'm doing and speaking about Canadian Center of Abuse Awareness and whatnot. Now, first thing that comes to mind is, are you insane, Rob? Advertising, racing the North Pole, where does that benefit my company? Well, good question, because as a company owner and partners of other companies myself, I had to ask myself the same question, and it really took me some time to look at it and see where can we really tie the two into it. And this is where we're at. So I'm going to take that time to explain it to you. Now we have 11 months. It's May 11th right now. 11 months. By this time next year, I'm already back, and now I'm speaking about it after the fact and what I went through being in the race, how I won the race, and so forth, and how Ryan and I tackled each other but survived each other for 3.5 weeks. But the 11 months prior to is prime time to advertise as an advertiser with what we're doing and to tie in to what their campaigns or your campaigns are with what we're doing. So it's a two-way street for advertising. But to explain to you how it works for us is like this. First off, I have a one-piece suit, which I've talked about earlier. It's that red, I call it a jumper, but it's that red suit that I'll be racing in its entirety. Now, get out of the mind the whole leg of the race that I'm in Resolute. Just take that whole month right out of there as I'm talking about this. Now, as I'm speaking to other people and as I go forward with YouTube blasts, Facebook, tweets, and whatever forms of other media that we can use through the internet, I'll be either wearing or have present this suit. All advertisers will be on there, whether it's the front or the back, and then when I'm at speaking events where I'm not wearing the suit, I have it set up on a mannequin or something in that nature, so it's paramount. But we also have our sleigh with the duffel bag on it. It's a big red duffel bag, and on there's plenty of spots advertised as well. But what got me really excited was when I was down in Bristol, England, back in March, going through my training to set up tents, and some of you have heard me talk about the tent training and how I found out how scary my suit actually is, being in minus 40 below. But it came to me, and I'm looking at it, and I don't know if anybody's done it or not, so I'm not going to say I'm the first one to come up with this idea, by far. But I'm looking at the tent, and by day 2, my marketing mind kicked in and said, that's a huge billboard. That whole tent could be one huge, massive corporate sponsor, or different advertisers in its entirety surrounding it. Again, take that whole Arctic part out, where I'm actually racing with this stuff. And now picture as I'm on a stage or I'm on a TV interview or speaking at one of the events that I've been so blessed with knowing some very great speakers and gurus out there, that this is present. So now you see it. You see the tent set up. You see the sleigh and the pack of our duffel bag set up. You see either me in the suit or on a mannequin, bang, there's advertising. But it goes further than that. As I said, every time I'm speaking about it, those corporate advertisers will always, always, always be listed. Also, it'll be the same after the fact. Because after the race, we're already looking at putting together some events. Again, through people that I already know that are wonderful, amazing speakers. I'm so blessed to know them and to be friends and acquaintances with them, and for them to also be my mentor on many levels. But I'll be speaking afterwards, again, on why the whole reasoning for me doing this race, and what I went through, and how that pertains to what I went through as a child, and again, why I tied in the Canadian Center of Abuse Awareness, and why I'm so passionate about bringing awareness to this wonderful organization. So again, the advertising exposure is very much there, very much real, and such a good benefit for a company because you're tying in with the charitable aspect, you're tying in with this huge endeavor that I'm taking on, and you're getting your message out there through this whole venue. So very many ways to do that. As I said, I'm blessed with some speakers. Now, Raymond Aaron, the great Raymond Aaron, who I'm very privileged to know and to have had my mentor for the last couple of years with the Raymond Aaron Group, and his monthly mentor program. Did this at 62, so in 07 when I first met him, he was talking about doing this. So I know the excitement that comes around doing this and doing this with speaking engagements and so forth and tying into something you're passionate about. So I know the advertising potential is there and it's huge. As I said, Raymond Aaron did it at 62, heard much of the horror stories and the good and the bad that happened. Hopefully it doesn't happen to Ryan and us as we have him to mentor us and guide us to what not to do. But I was also fortunate through Raymond to meet the great and lovely Sue Letcher and her partner with their business called The Genius Inside, which I'm proud to be a member of their mentoring group and partnered with Robin Kennedy. Now Sue I'm so gracious for because she is an active, like weekly part of my life and is there helping me along the way, watching these videos, giving me her pointers and stuff, and I couldn't be more blessed to have Sue there on a regular basis and be my mentor on a both business and personal level, as she was there through Raymond's in Denver, to the polar race, so I can't speak. But I'm very fortunate to have her on my side, and then the lovely Sonia Riccati, author extraordinaire, wrote the book that I read in a few days, which I only did that with one of the books, which was written by Frank O'Day. But I read in a few days, Law of Attraction, Plain and Simple. You must get it if you haven't read it. And Sonia, which has come to my attention through other people, not through Sonia herself, but unbeknownst to me, that she's mentioned me at many of her events and what I'm doing. So I'm very fortunate to have these people, and Cindy Ashton, which I've yet to meet in person, but a fellow Canadian, lives in the lovely state of California, and these people who have tied in and have expressed their interest and support for what I'm doing. Now that's how easy the advertising side works. You just saw me name a bunch of people, what they do in their business, and what their businesses are. That's how this works for the advertisers. Now, those people I've just been fortunate to be blessed with in my life, and I've just out of courtesy have mentioned them and brought them into this whole thing and what I'm doing because they've been there in different steps. So they're not paid advertisers, they're not sponsors in any way. I've only been blessed with them, so I'm just paying it forward. But that's how the advertising potential will work. So if you would like to advertise, it ranges anywhere from $400 up to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, depending on how big. The sky's the limit. So we don't know how big the title sponsor it could be. I know that we've had people come for the publishing rights and to actually do a film crew and to have somebody filming the whole thing, which, hello, remember I kept saying take out that part of the North race, the North Pole race? Well, that could be another way as a documentary that these advertisers are being seen, because I am wearing it. I am actually wearing the corporate sponsors, even though it's not going to be seen on a vast majority unless we do a documentation and we have a videographer with us, which is a great possibility at this point. I have several interests. But I'm still wearing it in all. So just putting that out there. Please pass this along if you know somebody with the company. Any portion works, no matter how small the denomination. And again, there's donations. And to donate, which you can, just go to either you can contact me myself and donate to me directly, for checks or whatnot, money orders made out to the Canadian Center of Abuse Awareness, as they don't personally come to me and I don't financially gain in any way from this at all. So again, Rob Young, I know this went a little longer than I was expecting, but thank you. Please pass it along. I look forward to having you advertise with us. Much love.